So everybody wants to know how to start a wine business. And that's what this video is about. How I started a wine business back in 2021. Alright. Now this video, it may be a long one, it may not, it just depends on how the video goes. But if it is a long one, I know it's gonna be nothing but game and information. I'm gonna give y'all what I've been doing, how I started from day one up until now, 4 years later. Okay, so if you've been waiting on this video or you want to start a wine business, this is the video for you. And the only thing I ask, man, is just hit the like button. That's all you gotta do. Can we do that for each other? You scratch your back. Well, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Alright, yeah, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And let me tell y'all how I started a wine business. Okay, so look, 4 years ago, my cousin, he has his own wine brand. Okay, and when he launched it, I was like, bro, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So I bought a bottle too, and ain't think nothing of it. Damn, pap talk. So the second time I bought some wine, I said, bro, how did you get into this? And he just gave me my crafter's name and number and a flyer that she was looking for more wine partners, and the rest is history. I mean, I'm gonna get into the rest of the history, but that's how I got started, because my cousin gave me my crafter's information. All right, so I got the crafter's information. I DM'd her, I called her, I did everything. She reached back out to me and she told me how and what was needed for me to get my own brand. She said, what do you want to call it? I said, let's call it Pappy Potion, okay? And she was like, okay, cool. What type of wine do you want? Me, only thing I know is Moscato. And I told her I want a wine like Kosher's. She's like, all right, cool, that's a Moscato. So I was like, bet, I want a Moscato. She like, what color do you want it? And I'm just like, bruh, I don't know. I just want a wine. But that's how it is. It's very, I ain't gonna say tedious, but it's precise. And so this is the first flavor. So this is like a brownish color. So we went with that, and she was like, what do you want to taste like? Now I'm just like, dog, I don't know. I just want to taste good. I just want to sell a wine. I want my own wine, blah, blah, blah. But I end up telling her I wanted a fruity, you know, not too sweet, but not harsh or nasty, something like that. And she's like, all right, cool. She was like, do you want a mixed berry one, or you just want just a straight one fruit Moscato type wine? And I like, we could do a mixed berry. We could do a mixed berry. And she's like, all right, cool. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make you 3 samples. It was this one and 2 others. This just stuck out the most. Not saying the other 2 was nasty or anything, but once I sampled this Bocaberry, I said, oh yeah, this the one. This gonna be the one to jump it out. And I took my wife, well, she was my girl at the time. I took her down there. We went down to Houston because that's where she's located at. And I'm like, cool. I go to Houston anyway, see my folks, because I'm from Houston. And I met her, and we had the conversation, and we tasted the wine, and we went with Bocaberry. And she was like, well, what do you want to call Bocaberry? And I was like, I ain't got no flavor name, so we can keep Bocaberry. And so after the tasting, she went into production with the wine. Now, the only thing I had to come up with was the label, the front one and the back one. She did the bottles. Well, she provided the bottles. She provided these tops right here and everything. Only, like I'm saying, only thing I did was the label, my logo right there on the bottle, and that was it. So after that was done, you know, I made a post saying, hey, I'm coming up with my own wine. And so how my situation was with my crafting in the beginning, like when you first start working my crafter, like you get a 3-month trial. Okay, so you get a 3-month trial, and each month comes with one case. So there's 36 bottles, 12 bottles a month. Because if you're not selling, 36 bottles in one month, they'll just start you off with 12. So when I made that post saying I got 36 bottles, I was leaving Houston going back to Dallas. And if you from Houston, bro, that freeway, like that downtown area and where the aquarium is at, I was right there. And then once we got to 45 and like, let's just say Huntsville, I was sold out. Sold out. So I called my crafter immediately. I said, I know that I'm supposed to get one case a month, but I need all 3 like right now, because they're buying them as we speak. And so she was like, okay, you might got a hit on your hands. And so when that happened, I had to order some more wine cases. And I had to get a TABC in order to sell your wine. Now, this is in Texas. I don't know what it's like in all these other states, but in Texas, in order to sell wine, you need to have a TABC. Now, if you're trying to open up a liquor store, wine store, you have to get a liquor license. And I don't know nothing about that because I ain't got no liquor license. I am licensed to sell you Pappy potion, right? So I got the TABC. Now, I did not get no LLC until I was making a good enough amount of money per month, because LLCs ain't free unless you're a veteran. So my LLC was free, and even with that, I didn't get that till like 2 years ago, because I had to do the groundwork, build the foundation, build the hype, build the demand, build the customers up to where I'm consistently making money each month off this wine right here. And so the LLC, right? I was selling the wine via social media only. I didn't have no website, nothing. My marketing was what I was doing my videos and word of mouth, because word of mouth is the best form of marketing. Don't let nobody tell you different. Word of mouth is the best form of marketing. Like if you make a status and people sharing it and agreeing with it, even though that's social media marketing, that person sharing it, that's word of mouth. They letting their people know. Okay? So the potion was getting a lot of hype, selling out like crazy. And a year go by, people were getting tired of, Buckaberry. I'm not gonna say they weren't getting tired of it. They just wanted another flavor because this one was so good. So that's when I came out with Sparkle. This is year 2. I came out with Sparkle. And the label you see right here, this wasn't the label I started out with. Like this is like this is my second label. And so each year I'm trying to make the bottle, make the brand more clean, more presentable. Not saying that my first label was trash or anything, but it needed an upgrade, And I'll show y'all my first bottle. It's in the house, but I just want to show constant elevation and change with my brand, because at this point I'm taking this serious. And for me in the beginning, I wasn't doing this to make this a full-time business. I really wasn't. It was supposed to be part-time. It's supposed to be, let me show the people, or let me sell people Pappy potions so they can drink this whenever they want to. Now it done became a household name. It's people's drink preference. You know what I'm saying? So got the second one's called Sparkling Moscato. So that's another mixed berry Moscato. And then the next year I made Sweet Elizabeth Red Wine, which is in remembrance of my grandmother. So now we're at 3 wines. I want to do a 4th one, but I don't know when. Shout out the clue, but I'm gonna do a 4th one. I just don't know when. But that's my story. I don't have no, I did this and that and I went to wineries and no. I told y'all that my cousin gave me the plug, essentially. So in order for you to get into the wine business, this is what I would tell you to do. Focus on finding a wine crafter. Well, Pap, how do I do that? Go to wineries, go to wine events, go to wine festivals, wine tastings, and just see who you meet. Now you can hit up, wine companies in general and see how they got their wine business started with this and that, see if they can craft your wine. But that crafter is the most important and the hardest person to find throughout this whole process. Okay? Your crafter, you want to be, excuse me, you want to be hands-on with them, meaning you want to have constant open line of communication. You want to put eyes on them, go shake their hand, build that rapport with them, because this is a partnership, a relationship, you know what I'm saying, that y'all are forming. And so if you're not able to talk to your crafter, it kind of like, I'm not saying go have a personal relationship, but you need to be able to talk to your crafter. You know what I'm saying? On some type of personal level. It ain't got to get too personal, but it needs to be on some type of personal level. Okay? So once you find the person that makes sense for your vision, your brand, go with them. You know what I'm saying? Hold on to them. Don't let them go. Because me and my crafter, we locked in. I ain't gonna say we ain't had no hiccups on the way, because it's business. Stuff happens. But me and my crafter, we've been rocking for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So once you find your crafter, everybody's situation ain't gonna be like mine. So I can't tell you what's gonna happen next, but it should be something to have my process with. You go over what type of wine you want, what color, how you want the taste, the alcohol percentage, all that type of stuff. Y'all should go over that. And then if it's something that you are liking, that you can agree with, work with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's gonna be some type of you signing your life away, but if you agree to their terms and conditions, sign the deal or the agreement. Now, how my crafter works is I have to buy wine every month, whether I am selling or not. That's just a part of the agreement. Now, other crafters, you might have to get a whole bulk order in the beginning, and if you ain't got the money, then it's not gonna work. Because it takes money to make money, and the wine industry ain't no cheap industry, dog. Because you gotta get supplies, you gotta get labels, you gotta get tops and top covers and wine shippers and wine boxes and tape. The stuff adds up, and it adds up fast. So make sure the person that you're working with or the company that you're working with, make sure that you can afford them. You can afford to work with them, because you don't want to get into a situation and you get this wine and then you out of business in a year. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to making your wine label, I got this off Fiverr. Yes, Fiverr. That's how you spell it. Let me see right now. Fiverr. Yeah, I know what Fiverr is. But yeah, go on Fiverr. This thing cost me about $7, $8. And I had it there in a day. So I got 3 of them. So $7 and $21 over 3 labels. You know what I'm saying? So people think that it costs money to make these type of labels. Nah, Fiverr. It was cheap as hell. Probably wanting to know how much does a wine business cost to start up in 2025. And I'm gonna just say this. I'm not sure of the current price to start up this year, right now. But I know for sure that it ain't what I paid for. I think I paid around a little under 5K. I could be wrong, but I think it's a little under 5K. But this was 2021. You know what I'm saying? So yesterday's price is for sure not today's price. I want y'all to understand that. So if you're a person that's thinking like, well, pal, I've been trying to find a wine crafter, haven't found any luck, can I have yours? And my answer to that is no. Nah. Nah, player. I'm not just finna give you her name and number. That's what I'm not gonna do. But what I will tell you is, if you buy a bottle, my crafter's information is on the bottle. So all you have to do is pay $20 to have a chance to work with my crafter. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm not promising you anything, because if you reach out to her and she ain't taking people right now, that's nothing I can do about it, you know. But if she is taking people, the only thing I ask of y'all, man, is to not waste that woman's time. Because if y'all wasting that woman's time, that means my wine ain't getting made. And I got a household product and I need my bottles. So I don't have time for y'all to be wasting her time, because that takes time away from her making my wine. Now, she does have her consultation fees and this and that, because people do be wasting time. So nowadays you gotta pay to waste time. And I can't discuss or share her fees because that's not my lane. I ain't supposed to do that. So I don't know what it costs for you to work with her today, but if you want my crafter, all you gotta do is go to my website, www.pappypotion.shop, get you a bottle or 3, and my crafting information is on here. Like, I'm looking at it as we speak. So that's to go ahead and cut people off from the video that just want my crafter. You have to buy a bottle. Now, if you want more of the information, let's keep going. And let me tell you this. This is some game. If you want a thriving, successful wine business, you have to have some type of social media platform, some type of social media presence, because your wine is not going to sell without it. I'm sorry, it's not going to sell. All the introverts that just heard that, you probably like, God, dog. But if you want to sell, you got to get on social media and promote your wine every single day. Because just like it's 1,000 types of bread companies, it's 1,000 wine brands out there. So you got to stand out. You have to put your product in the people's faces every day. And it's easy to do that on social media. You know what I'm saying? The studies say you have to show people a minimum of 3 times before they finally decide to buy it. So if you only posting 1 time a day, every day, you might get some visibility, but you need to be pushing out content and creating content for this wine brand if you're taking it serious. Going to have to network. You're going to have to do pop-up shops. You're going to have to do everything that you can to make your brand pop and stand out. And when you're sharing your wine story, like, just be you, be authentic. You ain't got to get all proper and this and that. Tell your story. Because for me, at first, my reasoning for wanting to start a wine brand is because I wanted more women viewership on my YouTube channel. But then I realized I was like, yo, Moscato is one of the most popular wines out there within my community, right? But the problem with Moscato wine is sweet, which ain't nothing wrong with that, but it lacks alcohol content. It's like usually 5 to 7% in all these current Moscatos, right? So I thought if I got my crafter, me and her can come up with a formula, a recipe to come up and maintain the same good taste of Moscato, just add a little bit more alcohol. Because that means if you're drinking Moscato and you only have 1 glass, that cuts down on your alcohol consumption. That cuts down on your sugar consumption because of how much sugar is in Moscato wine, because of how sweet it is. So now that I know, I identify what the problem is with Moscato, we got a solution, and now we have a product to help counteract the problem with Moscato wines. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm pitching that to companies or whoever, they like, you know what? You're absolutely right. All these Moscatos don't have no alcohol content, and the purpose of drinking wine is to feel good. But if I gotta drink 17 bottles of Stella Rosa to get the slightest of buzz, that ain't healthy. And after you tell your story, you let the wine do the talking. This wine is good room temperature or cold. It's better cold, but room temperature, like if I was to crack open this bottle right now, it's still gonna be sensational. You know what I mean? There's certain things I can't share because of my, my NDA. But I'm gonna just say this: at some point, you're going to have you're going to need a website. Now, I can't tell you how to set it up or anything like that, but at some point, you're going to outgrow selling on social media because strangers don't trust that. They need something they can type up on their computer or on their phone and see what the website is about, see the whole interface. And because when you just selling via DMs, it looks kind of sketchy, so get your website when the time comes. And let me just say this: if your sole reason to wanting to start a wine business is simply because of the money, you're not gonna last long. Because like I shared earlier, my agreement, I have to get wine cases every month, whether I sell or not. And so some months are red months because I'm still trying to sell January's cases and it's March. You know what I'm saying? So it may be green, red, green, red. So if you just looking at somebody selling product, blah, 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 you think they having it? They might be having it. Might have the money on. But if that's just your sole purpose, oh no, you're going to get humbled real fast. I got humbled because I'm not going to say I was doing it for the money, but what I will say is there was months I was having where I felt like my brand was untouchable, unbreakable. Like I felt like there couldn't be a month where I have inventory. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm selling out of 20 cases, 30 cases in 12 to 24 hours because I was booming because of social media. Like I'm telling you need social media. But back to the point, what goes up must come down. What starts slow must eventually pick up. And so, even though I started off slow, I gained some traction. And I gained a lot of traction and I'm selling like crazy. And then once like the hype died down, I'm like, dog, like what's happening? And that kind of I was out depressed, but I was kind of confused of what was happening. But I know exactly what happened. I stopped marketing because at the time I was letting the sellouts be my marketing point instead of me continuing to market how I was marketing to get those 12-hour, 24-hour sellouts. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's talk about getting your wine in the store. Besides getting a crafter, one of the second hardest things to do in this business is get into a store. Especially a store like a Specs or a Total Wine and this and that. And a couple years ago, that was my goal. That's what I was aiming for. Until I finally got the opportunity last year, to be in Total Wines. So currently, as we speak, this flavor, Boca Berry, has been accepted into 9 different Total Wines down here in Texas. But getting into a store is a different beast because it's no longer me going to pick up my wine. Now you have to get a distribution company. And that's a process within itself because some companies just don't work with smaller brands. You know what I'm saying? And if they do, they taxing. And so that's where I'm at currently. But then I've learned recently that it's better, even though I want to be in the store and that's still the goal, financially I can't do it because I am footing the bill every month to get wine cases. I don't have no funding, no nothing. This is all out of my pockets. So I am not ready to pay for the bulk cases up front, the cases for, my business, the website, and then pay for distribution every month. I'm just not ready. I had to be real with myself and tell myself, put my pride aside, like, bro, you just not ready yet. It's not your time yet. And within that, I've also learned that direct to consumer is the better route. Yeah, being in a store is cool, is easier, it's more convenient for everybody to go up the street, go around the corner to the store and get a bottle of potion. But if I'm a person and I'm purchasing your product and I can talk to you, I appreciate that more than going to the store. You know what I'm saying? It's a personal relationship that I'm building with you. I'm building a community. It's like, dang, Pap wine good, but I can also talk to Pap. I can call Pap. I can email Pap, and Pap will respond to you. So people appreciate that, you know. And also, let's just say, I'm just throwing out numbers. Let's just say it costs $5 to make my wine, okay? And I sell it, me personally, I sell it for 10, and I sell it to Total Wines for 10, but they sell it for 30. I only got the 10. And so Total Wines is eating off me more than I'm eating off my own product. You know what I'm saying? So until like the demand and the hype is just too crazy for me to have a website and to where I have to get in the store, then that's when that time will come. But till then, what's working for me right now is direct to consumer, and that's what's going to work for you until you get an opportunity to get into the stores. Now, restaurants, hey, that's love. That's what y'all should try to do first when y'all get y'all product. Yeah, get a store or whatever if you can. If you come up with a situation that don't have to need distribution and you can just deliver it yourself, go into a restaurant. Go into a restaurant, because them people gonna drink that wine at the restaurant. And if the people drink the wine, that means they're buying up the wine's restaurant, which means the restaurant needs more wine, so they keep buying it from you. So, hey, restaurants for me right now is where it's at. You in Dallas, Texas, and you're close to Cedar Hill, y'all have to go try Soul Shack. Soul Shack, okay? That's SOULSHACK. It's in Cedar Hill, uptown, next to Foot Locker. They have good food, and the potion is in there, and it's rocking. But yeah, I think I covered everything. We talked about the LLC, we talked about the money, we talked about the crafter, we talked about the labels, the wine. If y'all got any more questions, just drop it down in the comments. Now, like I said, my process is my process for Texas. I don't know what it is for Georgia or Cali or Florida. You gotta do your Googles. Take my information, take what I said, and then add your own research and information that you find to it, okay? So if you enjoyed this video, bro, and you enjoyed this information, and I answered a lot of y'all guys' questions, only thing I ask is if you hit the like button, okay? I ain't telling y'all to buy no ebook and this and that. I'm giving y'all the game, straight raw. And if you want a bottle of Pappy Potion, go to www.pappypotion.shop and go get your bottle. Alright, so that's it for me. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new, drop your questions, and I'll check y'all next video.